right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Guess what day it is today, everyone? Guess what day it is? It's Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day. Good Heart Day, right? That's awesome. Cool. I hope you guys all are having a fantastic day so far and that everything is going great for you in your lives, in your personal business, in your business, and every way possible. We are already February 14th, midway through the month, and I can tell you that, it's quite interesting getting photos of people out working in early February and late January with temperatures that were like in the 50s and 60s in some places, and then to get the same person sending photos of being under snow now. Like, what? This is crazy. I know Skylar was dealing with that for sure, dealing with some warm temperatures and then ended up with some cool temperatures. But more to talk about that as we power forward here. So just some housekeeping. Down at the very bottom, you've got your reactions that you can use. Feel free to raise your hand. Feel free to send those emojis. You've got your chat window too. Don't be afraid to ask questions in that chat window, please. No matter where you are in your journey, if you have a question, pop it in there, right? And get some perspective. Might be able to explore some great solutions to some challenges you might be experiencing. The only silly question is the one unasked. I often say that. So please, please, please don't hesitate to ask questions in there and or on here on the AK Roundtable. The other thing too is that I always like to start this meeting out with a little action to get some blood pumping, get some, movement going. And so there's this whole left, right, up and down with our hands that we tend to rock and roll with. And so I want to definitely bring that into a pattern for us every single meeting. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. All right, cool. Matt, why don't you take us off tonight, brother? You take us off. Come on, come off mute, and you're going to guide us through our AK Roundup kickoff. Let's do this thing, man.
You're me? Oh, boy. Okay,
Oh,
everybody, we're going to sit this time,
all
but
right.
we're going to reach as high as we can. Everybody
Okay.
reach as high as you can. When you can't reach anymore, give it a second and reach a little bit more. And now start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Safe.
That's it. That's awesome. Cool. That reach up was a really fun one. If you remember in Tampa, right? When Anthony said, reach up and then reach a little more. And then, hey, you know what? How much higher can you go? And it's like, just with a little bit more push, a little bit more drive, how much more can you reach in your journey, right? What are you doing to reach just a little bit more? So I had a really cool conversation today with a guy named Colton Erskine, who started his business 4 years ago. I remember the day he called me, and he owns Erskine Construction and Seal Coating. 4 years ago, he started. I got a call from him on Facebook Messenger. I'm like, who's this guy, man? And he's like ringing my phone. I'm like, I'm going to answer this because he's relentless. It was like 3-4 times in a row he called me. And I usually, when that happens, I usually, just kind of like close the app, but I wasn't in a meeting and I answered it, and he's on video and he's in Ace Hardware and he's looking for a piece of plumbing to try and jimmy rig his very first seal coat spray system that he was self-building. And he had like a few $100s in his pocket and he's trying to find this right part to jimmy rig this seal coat rig. And I had 2 options, right? To guide him down the aisles of showing him what part he needed for what. And I took about 15 minutes, 20 minutes out of my day, and I helped him to get the right part that he needed to plumb his rig. Well, let's just fast forward 4 years. Tandem axles. He's got, I think, 6 trucks. He's just bought a brand new Peterbilt paving. He does, $5-6 million a year in revenue 4 years later. He's got a total of 37 employees when it's on season. And he's really done something incredible, bought an office building and a yard. And it's just incredible to see what this guy has done in 4 short years. And he's expanded and scaled. But how cool is that, right? Like that you actually, you know, the way that he started was literally by jimmy rigging his own machine to 4 years later having a company that he's built of magnitude. And one of the things that we discussed today was really about the profitability of a company, about revenue and understand costs. And I know that we beat that into the round table every meeting, but it's something that I just want you guys to always be keeping a pulse on and keeping that rhythm on, is truly understanding the depth of all of your costs when you're going out to perform projects, and know them, know every detail about them. So, you know, he's speaking about these trucks, and he's speaking about these pavers, and he's speaking about all of the things that he's buying, and what he's doing is really breaking down all of those costs and the total number of working days that he has every season. And raise your hand if you believe that, you know, you have 365 working days a season, right? You just don't. You don't have 365 working days in a year. I would love to say yes, Matthias, for sure. We've got 365 days. I believe this year actually we have 366. Is that right? We have 366 days. Is that right? I believe. Am I wrong or am I right? Raise your hand if I'm right. 366. Is that what we have? Nobody knows. Is it 365 or is it 366? 366. How many days are in February this year? 29 or 28? Somebody come off mute and help me, man. Is it 365 days?
366, 366, 366.
I love that. So we got a bonus day in here. That's great. But back to the point, which was making sure that you understand your costs. And we were really speaking about, you know, what it is to grow at a rapid rate like that. And it was really understanding your numbers. So please, team, as you're quoting things, as you're building your business, make sure to understand every cost associated with operating. And if you don't, there's some great videos on YouTube that you can watch.
Nigga went to go get that chair for like 10 minutes.
Bookkeepers, there are all kinds of opportunities to be able to, and accountants that can direct you, right? Get that financial advice that you need. Cool. So let's get this started. We are around the corner from season. We've got literally a month before it's the middle of March. And so is it a time right now where we're hibernating, where we're just waiting for weather to break before we go out and start to hustle, or are we starting to work right now? Raise your hand if we're starting work right now. All right, cool. Cool. Yeah, I love that. Skylar's double hands up, right? So I have a question. What are some of the things that you guys are doing right now to move the needle for your business so that when the weather does break, you're making the most out of it? What are some of the things that you're doing? And so for anybody that raises their hand here and we go around the board, let's just, you know, come up with maybe 2 or 3 things, not just one thing. And let's just lay that on the table. And maybe we can all gain a little perspective from that. Does anybody have anything that they're working on right now to move the needle for their business? Skylar, let's do it, buddy.
One of our large big things that we're doing right now is material sourcing. So we're making sure we're getting the best costs across the board with everything. We're buying in bulk. I actually think Friday we take delivery of crack filler. We got 20 skids coming to the shop just to drive some pricing down there. Same thing with all of our seal coat material, that type of stuff. I have my office staff working currently. They're doing last year outreach for anybody we did not collect Google reviews from, so we can make sure those are optimized as we're rolling into the season. Plus, we're doing this year outreach as well too. So all of our files we're getting lined up for repeat customers and making sure proposals are getting ready to roll out the door here like March 1st. So.
You guys dialing phones to your existing customer base or sending any marketing out, drip campaigns or any email campaigns right now?
Yep. And perspective on those, we're roughly like 51% return on all of those customers on those maintenance schedules.
Wow. Fantastic. Good stuff, man. That's certainly, you know, we call it lead and then lag, right? So you're leading, you're pushing that wave. It takes that strong force at the beginning. Sometimes it feels like you're not moving the needle at all right at the very beginning. It's like, man, we're not getting results right away, but you just have to stay disciplined and consistent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Beautiful. Jeanette, what's happening?
Hi. I bought a truck today.
Nice stuff. What kind of truck did you buy?
Diesel 2500 tradesman Dodge Ram,
Would you-
2022, and it's got 14,000 miles on it. So
That is
we bought
so
that.
cool.
We got a seal coat rig. Well, it's being delivered probably next week, and we are staying focused on Google Ads and trying to get more calls into our business. Staying on top of Google reviews and reaching out to people, like Skylar was saying, reaching out to people that we have done work for previously. Someone just sent us a lot of work that we did some work for last week or last year. It's a very extensive list, but it's all striping. So we're trying to focus mainly on striping and seal coating. We're still doing paving, but hopefully we're going to be getting more seal coat jobs soon. It's starting to warm up.
Fantastic. How's Chuck doing?
He's good. He's happy. He was messing with the truck for hours today, cleaning it and making sure it was detailed good. They're going to use it for a job tomorrow for the first time. So he's pretty excited about that.
How does it feel to like actually to be building your business and then to go buy a truck like a 22, new truck that's coming out for the business? How does that feel for you guys?
It feels good. Like we were renting from Enterprise, but I told Chuck, and Chuck agrees also, instead of renting, just put that money towards something that you're actually going to have one day and it's going to be yours. So we took that leap of faith and went on ahead and did it.
Congratulations, guys. Give Chuck a high five for me, man.
I will. He hears you. He's in the background.
Congratulations, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to hearing about all your success this year, Jeanette.
Thanks.
Chuck, this is great. Yeah. All right, cool. Let's go. Miss O'Brien, let's do this.
Hi. So we've got a lot of stuff going up. We're beefing up our sales force. So we hired a new sales rep. We are entering our third year as a company. So we're just starting to do some maintenance agreements this year. So we're offering a free spring inspection and turning those into quotes and then into maintenance agreements. We're completing our sales and marketing plan and entering a cooperative agreement with a concrete company.
Wow. Rocking and rolling, I can see game is on, right? Game's on. We're going. Nice. You're going to be pretty busy. So what services are you going to be providing here this year in 2024 as we're rolling through?
So we are hoping to start doing some seal coating. But our main business is traffic control and pavement marking. So we're looking to get into some partnerships with a concrete company. And then we are looking to expand our business into the seal coating. So.
How great, how cool. And so with paving, as you have paving projects that might approach you, do you have some partners that you have already put on a prospect list that you're going to be potentially working with or potentially exploring working with?
So we do all the pavement marking ourselves, but we do have some potential prospects for our cooperative agreement for the concrete work and the asphalt work, because we don't do asphalt,
Right.
but we just do the pavement marking and looking to expand into the seal coating, but we don't do asphalt or concrete.
Gotcha. And so maybe exploring some partnership opportunities with paving companies to go and do that bigger work could be a possibility, and getting paid a referral fee or working out a deal where you're subbing in that work, right? That's so cool.
Absolutely. I did see a question from Billy about lane closures. So we actually do lane closures as well. That's the traffic control part of our business. So Billy, I'll reach out to you, but we're in Texas.
Fantastic. Great stuff. And that's another great reason, by the way, to change your name on your Zoom screen, just to not change your name, leave your name, but your email address. You can see Billy's got it down at the bottom there, Billy at aiming at lightning stripe. So that you want to just make sure you put your email addresses down at the bottom. That way you guys can interact, share your information, and continue to build a network. That's awesome. Cool.
Done.
I know that I know that there's definitely a lot of prep and optimization. I see Matt and Laura Barfoot over there. I'm very interested in hearing about what you guys are doing right now in the month of in the middle of February here up in the Canadian North. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on over there? You guys are building your company from scratch here. What are some of the things that you guys are working on? I know you're literally building horsepower at a level that's beyond what most do very, very quickly. I had a call with Rob today as well. So what exciting things that are on the horizon. Not asking you to share any secret sauce or anything, but I certainly am interested in hearing about what you guys are doing to prep.
Yeah,
Hey,
thanks.
Judd.
Thanks for that warm introduction, Judd. Just to kind of give everyone a bit of a background, we're a brokerage company, so we are not self-performing any work at this particular time. So our main thing that we've been focusing on is getting 2 full-time people to do all of our cold calls, doing cold calls about 40 hours a week, and then building out all the onboarding for them. So we have them hired and are onboarding them within the next week. Matt did a great job at securing a whole bunch of lead lists with some good warm leads and some cold leads for sure. So that was like one of the big ones we've been working on. We obviously did a lot of training with Judd, and so we'll be rolling out our website, I think, as of Friday. So I'm really pumped to see the great work that Judd and his team have done to create that nice professional elite service that we're trying to get. Another big one we've been working on is securing great contractors to make sure that the level that the performance is being done is going to meet the standard that we're looking for. So we've got a couple secured and really excited to start working with them. And then training our assessors to go to site and make sure that they are giving us all the information. Matt has worked really hard at getting some great checklists on and some flow charts so that we are doing that to the best of our ability, and then integrating that in a very concise way to our proposal links so that the work of actually manually entering that isn't as tedious for us, so that we can pop out some really good, effective, professional level quotes in a very timely manner. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, right. How cool is it? You know, I often use the analogy of the vibrations that you enter as you're building and growing a company. And it's, you know, we enter those vibrations, and as time goes on, as we're building and growing, you approach things and you're like, man, oh man, I don't know. This feels really, really uncomfortable. I'm going to back off this for a second, right? Like, oh geez, this is really hard. Like, maybe we shouldn't do it that way. Maybe, you know, maybe that feels too uncomfortable. Oh, I'm going to back off. And then all of a sudden you're like, no, we're going to do this thing. We're going to plow through it. We're going to break through this thing. And the vibrations get so intense, and then bang, you grow like crazy and you enter into the next level of vibrations. And it's like,
May have lost him a bit there.
no
Sorry.
matter where you are on launching. Did you lose me?
Oh, yeah, he's back.
Did you lose me, or am I back?
Back.
You're back,
Cool.
brother.
I was going to say, no matter where you are in your journey in the growth and development, whether you're brand new right out of the gate, or whether you're 10 years in or 20 years in or 25 years in or 40 years in, you're always going to be faced with things that are hard and challenging. And so it's up to you to break through that and to literally go into this place of growth with your business and yourself. You know, it's like, who here has ever run a mile? Raise your hand. Who here has run 5 miles? Who here has run 20 miles straight? Who here has run 30 miles straight? 50? Right. And let me ask you, for the ones on here who put their hand down at 5 miles and didn't raise it again. I can tell you one thing for sure. That 5 miles felt like super intense when you were going through that, right? For those of you that have run past 5 miles into the 10 miles and broke through that 5 mile vibration and you moved into 10, that's your new threshold now, right? It's like, I did 10. Now when you hit 20, and that's why, you see these guys that are doing these ultra marathons, these 250-mile runs. And it's like, man, oh man, they just went through these intense vibrations, these intense challenges, and popped and grew, right? So, as you're growing, as you guys are building the business, Matt and Laura, as you're building your processes and systems and taking the time up front to really do that properly, developing the processes and systems is not easy for everybody to do. It's not easy. A lot of people have no clue how to do that stuff. But it's one of the most important things when you're starting a business, the seed of literally that you plant relating to processes and systems, just taking the time to actually lay out that roadmap and the things that need to be done is so crucial for your business when you're first starting out. And when you're growing and scaling it, right, you'll continue to optimize and tune it. And the reason why you want to invest the time into the processes and systems at the earliest possible point that you can is because once you've done that, it's easier to take people or to find people to plug into the processes and systems. Not only is it easier for you as a business owner to have the people in the processes and systems that you've developed, but it also makes the people a lot more excited to work with your company because they're not lost roaming around trying to figure out what to do next. They know what to do. And so if you have processes and systems and you have the right people working with them, and your people have these things right here, write these down. This is really, really important. Put it on a bumper sticker. You want to make sure that every single person in your company has a KPI. And you want to make sure that every single person in your company has at least 2 or 3 key critical drivers that are going to get them to their KPI, their key performance indicator. And if you have the critical drivers to get to your KPI, the chance of your KPI being achieved is very, very high. So if I said to you right now as a business owner, your KPI is revenue. Let's just say hypothetically, I say it's revenue. Don't you think that we should know what the critical drivers are that's going to be driving the revenue? Don't you think that's important? Don't you think it's important that we know what our average job price is going to be? So if we have a KPI that's our average job price, that could be a critical driver. And then another critical driver would be quote to sale conversion rate. That could be another critical driver, quote to sale conversion rate. Another critical driver, it's another critical driver. Number of quotes that you need to get out. Just throwing stuff at the board here, team, but don't you think that this kind of stuff, like building the processes and systems and truly understanding what your KPIs are and your critical drivers are, don't you think that that's important not only for you, but for your people? Matthias, come off mute right now, if you don't mind.
I'm on.
What is your KPI? What's your KPI, brother?
Mine is driving sales by accumulating quotes and closing a percentage of those quotes.
Go to
So
your
always
13-week
working.
on your 13-week race. If you go to your
Got it.
13-week race, what is your KPI and what are your 2 critical drivers? Don't say the
Got it.
numbers, but what is your
Yeah.
KPI and what are your 2 critical drivers?
So my KPI is quarterly revenue focused on lead to sale conversion and average order value.
And then you have 13 weeks worth of things that you need to do in order to drive an observable result relating to the actions you take every week. Am I right or wrong?
Correct. I have 13. That's right. Every single quarter.
Perfect. Mr. Wallace, you're going to have the same thing. That 13-week race is going to be developed because we all need the optics to be able to truly build our company. Otherwise, what happens, team? I'll tell you what ends up happening. We end up going out there and we end up winging it. So I'll define winging it. We try to figure it out on the fly. And it's like, I know that for me, when I didn't know about this stuff, processes and systems, and I know, Laura's a superstar with, by the way, with processes and systems, like an absolute superstar. Amy is as well. She's incredible. And what I will say is this, when I go back into my earlier days, when I was out doing pavement maintenance work, and I was getting in my truck in the morning, making sure it was fueled up, making sure that I had supplies on the truck, making sure all the work orders were in hand, making sure that the guys were all ready to go. What I was doing was going out and doing those jobs, not thinking about anything to do with KPIs or critical drivers. We were just going to go and make the most out of the sunlight and try to bring in the most amount of revenue we could each day that was sunny. We didn't even think about the number of working days that we had in a season. It wasn't important. It was just, how much money can we make this year? Hopefully we can hit, as much money as we could possibly make. So let's make sure that, we're really, really taking the time to dig into this stuff. And let me tell you, doing it alone, who here thinks that it's going to be hard to figure this all out on your own? Honestly, just be straight up. Yeah, it's how would we know this stuff? Like, was anybody taught this stuff in school? Honestly, raise your hand if you were taught this stuff in school, straight up. You were not taught it in the school, and trying to figure it out on your own is not easy either. Like, I didn't figure this stuff that I'm talking about on our own. Amy actually did a bunch of learning and brought this to the table. We did a scaling up program and we invested big money into coaching and training. And we ended up getting these details that we needed in order to really drive the business. And guess what happened when we started implementing it? Do you think that the company went into that hyper growth mode, or do you think that it impacted us negatively? Success becomes inevitable when you face the vibrations intensely and you're willing to cut through them and break into your growth trend. Trust me on it. Trust me. I know people on the screen right now here today, like right now, I'm watching people starting to lay out their processes and systems right now, and I know success will be inevitable, not just in their immediate financial results as they roll through 2024, but with enterprise value. Any company that looks at you in the future and looks at what your company is worth, they're going to see this stuff as being extremely valuable because nobody else is really doing this stuff. Cool. Any questions on this, by the way, team? Any questions? It's got to be some questions. Who here has KPIs? Raise your hand if you have KPIs. Again, raise your hand. All right, cool. For those of you that didn't raise your hand, do me a favor, set your KPIs for each person in the company. And KPIs, like another word or another line for KPIs, key performance indicator, is what is it that your number one what is your number one responsibility? What do you have to achieve? What are you owning? What are you owning? So let's think about if you had somebody that was an appointment setter for you, that was setting up appointments for pavement assessments for you to go out and do your assessments and ultimately move those to quotes. If that person was doing nothing other, just inside that riverbank, all they were doing was setting up appointments, I would think, to me, that the KPI would be number of pavement assessment appointments booked, right? Raise your hand if you agree. Somebody who's an appointment setter that's responsible for setting up appointments for pavement assessments. So number of pavement assessments booked is the KPI. And do you think that we're going to be picking that number out of the sky, or do you think that the number of pavement assessments that appointment setter needs to book is going to be related to perhaps what aligns with the company's goals as to the number of assessments that need to be done in order to convert them to quotes? Remember, everybody in your company has a position that is going to add tremendous value to your business. And if they don't, then it means that they don't have the right focus on the things that are going to drive your business. So don't just hire people because you need to unload workload off of your plate. Hire people because they actually are taking something off your plate and doing something meaningful with it, and that they have the clarity and understanding of what it is that they need to do to be successful. If Matthias hits his KPI and he hits his critical drivers, do you think that Matthias is going to feel good and he knows that he's winning when he's actually chasing those numbers, hunting those numbers? Won't that, Matthias, will that feel good?
100%. 100%. I'll be making more. The company will be making more. We'll all be growing.
Precisely. And that's for every single person in the company. And I love that. By the way, Matthias, you just put this in the chat. Build your company as if you were going to sell it one day, or build your company as though you were going to franchise it one day. Think about that. That's a really important one, right? Build it as though you were going to sell it one day. Build it as though you were going to franchise it one day. Think about your branding. Think about the digital presence that you have. Think about your processes and systems. Think about your proposal aspects. Think about your automation. Think about your culture. Think about the value in which you've developed associated with your brand. Think about all of the pieces that you're developing. Think about your trucks, right? Like I hear Jeanette just got the truck, right, with Chuck. And I'm like, all I can picture in my head is this beautiful wrapped truck that is not just a logo on a truck, but it's a brand, it is a skin, it is an energy that has brand value that literally made that truck no longer X number of tens of thousands of dollars, but it's now a truck that's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars because of it being a brand that's moving on the asphalt from position to another position. Your brand value is something tremendously important. As you're building your company too, I know I'm speaking a lot here, but hopefully you're getting some golden nuggets as I'm rolling this out. Your brand, you cannot have different fonts on your website and then have different fonts on your decals and then different fonts on your proposals and then different fonts. You need to have brand consistency and guidelines, because that's what brand value equals, is something that is consistent, strong, and powerful, where people say, wow, that company, man, wow, they really stand out. They've done a world-class job. Not only on their truck wraps, on their website, on their proposals, and even the way that they communicate about it, the way that they speak is relating to the brand that they've developed. Does this all make sense, everyone? So the next time that you go and inject capital into buying I'm not saying not to do this when you're first getting out, but the next time you go and inject capital into a lawn sign, or a sorry we missed a door hanger, or a magnet for your truck, or a pop-up booth at a local charity or show that you're going to do, or whatever it is with the Chamber of Commerce or whatever you're doing, just make sure that you have the consistency in being that professional company that operates outside of this echelon. And it's not hard. You just need the right guidance to achieve that. Because we're building real companies here, right? We're not building these, right? Are we building, honestly, are we building a real pro company with tremendous enterprise value that we're super stoked about, that we could scale nationally if we wanted to? That's what we're doing, right? Everybody's silent. Come on, team. I want yeah, this, yes.
Sir.
Heck yeah.
Go.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. Cool. And I see Anthony smiling in the background. He's like, I love this, man. This is good stuff, right? How you doing, brother?
Really good. Good to see you guys. Sorry I've missed some of these. I catch the replays and they're always fantastic, but not as good as live. So my Valentine's out running an errand right now, so I thought I could sneak on here tonight.
You ready for the season coming up?
Yeah, yep. Just met with one of our guys that was doing some sales today. So yeah, we're starting to get after property managers. We're sending them emails and then just write down the list, giving them a call. So yeah, it's now it's snowing right now in Minnesota for like the first time in a while, but we've already been, it's been like bare like it is, it's been in most spots. So we've been able to actually look at quite a few parking lots yet. Like in February, I went golfing in February. It's just awesome. So yeah, should be a really big year, coming off a great year, and really excited for this upcoming year. So good to see you, buddy. It's been a little bit.
I know. What year are you going into?
This is going to be year 7 now. So yeah, God, just time, just for everybody that's a little bit newer to it. It's just magical things too, as you're in it longer too, and you know that, Judd. But just the things that build on top of each other, you can't even plan for all of it. It's just like it's pretty cool to see. So I'm at that point now where I can now look at a lot of the old jobs too and say, oh, it looks like you're about due for another round. And that just really helps when you're doing that, coupled with chasing the new stuff too. It's a nice little buffer in there. So yeah, it's just, God is good, life is good, and good to see it, buddy, and everybody on here too.
God is good. God is good, man.
Yeah.
God is really good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Happy Valentine's Day, brother. Yeah,
you
man.
too, buddy. I appreciate it.
Let me ask you, like, you just spoke about how you're getting that repeat business now, right? And so, there are people that are really hungry for immediate money, to make money off of a job. They go out and they're like, man, I got to make this money on this job. I got to make ends meet, and I got to get as many jobs as I possibly can. And sometimes there's corners that are cut, and they end up, skimping on the applications. They save on costs by putting down less sealer per square foot. They don't clean out the cracks properly because they're rushing. And so I'm interested in hearing, like, from you, because I can say it all day long, but for somebody who's, been there and done that, how important is it to you to make sure that quality is applied and to build the relationship based upon that? How important for your company is it, man?
Yeah, it's everything, because it's like, we have like right now we have like 52 reviews on our Google, but the 3 that bug me the most are the 1-star ones where we goofed up on, and like as a small business owner, like your reputation is so important. And you hear it a bunch where the good news travels fast and the bad news travels faster. So it's super important to try to keep your reputation up, and all the while, like, just still, like, and you guys talk about this a lot too, but just never cutting down another company around you, but also just selling people on what you can offer too. And so yeah, the motto we've always been preaching, and it's like, you're not there all the time because you're out there doing other things too, but like treat that asphalt as if it was your own, like it's your own parking lot, it's your own driveway, whatever it is, and getting your crew leads to really buy into that. And it's it's easy to do at 9 a.m., in the morning when you're fresh and good, but like having that attention to detail for those guys when it's 4:30 and they're, they see quitting time coming too. It's like really just trying to get that culture going, which, we've had little bits and pieces of trying to work that stuff out too, because, everyone's human and that kind of thing. But yeah, quality for sure, Judd, is super important, and bad news travels really quick, and so yeah, we couldn't agree more.
So it's a fun question. So what did you do about the 1-star reviews to be able to keep the reputation online? Did you respond to those reviews on Google?
Yeah, about 5 seconds later. Yeah, and just being humble with it and just letting them know that they're, because they'll, post a picture of something that didn't look the way we'd want it to, and just saying it's a learning experience for our crew, and that we would reach out to them to make it right. So the other thing too is, like, if you are willing to go reach out to them even after they give you a 1-star, they feel a little bit silly too, because it's like, all right, you put us on the spot, it doesn't look good on us, but like we are reaching out to you. So, I don't know. It's just, thankfully it doesn't happen too often, but everyone's going to get a 1-star review once in a while. It's just, if not, I don't know, teach me how not to, but once in a while it happens. people
So
are
I
emotional.
Yeah, I find for sure. And you want to know exactly what you just said there is so important. And so are we, right? People are
Yeah.
emotional. That's right. It's not just the customer that's emotional. We're emotional too. So what happens is if we end up getting a review that pops up, are we actually getting defensive? Back in my younger days, I would have immediately gone into a place of defense and trying to protect and trying to figure out how to make it be that, we're not wrong. The customer's wrong. And it's like the worst thing in the world that you can do is pour gasoline on a fire like that. And so what you have to do is be very humble, and you have to be prepared to really create a remarkable experience for someone. And you can usually turn those 1 stars if you're willing to invest the time. You can really, really turn those 1 stars into evangelists that end up becoming one of your best customers that will actually refer a bunch of other people because you made it right. And so the question, I guess, for you as you respond back to it, but maybe it would be cool to go back, and maybe you've already done this, but to go back and just say, you know what, man, and I was going through my reviews, and you know what, I'm coming back. I would love to do the job at no cost to you, and just say thank you for allowing us to get better. That's like our pay it forward to you, because that right there, you can turn that review again. You can imagine what it would be for them to go and leave more reviews at a later time. Like Anthony and his company, they stand for something that's truly incredible. Nobody's perfect. We always work on progressing and improving, but that may be a good thing for everybody to try in case you ever are faced with that.
Oh, 100%. And the last thing I'll just say to the group, because I haven't talked to this group in a while, is like, Judd, the best advice you ever gave me, well, so much advice, I can't even quantify it, but 2-3 years ago, and this goes to everyone that's out there, that even when you're talking about door hangers, Judd, I've got like 10,000 door hangers that are sitting in a closet that I never want to use ever again in my life. And what I mean by that is, Judd, and you talk about it, but like if you want to get to $1 million revenue, like grinding away those $300-$400 driveways over and over and over again, it's just I'm grateful for him, because that's how we started. But Judd got me thinking about bigger targets, and like the process a lot of times is the same, and a lot of times the guys like the commercial work more so. It's a less grind than brushing all day, and like the small monotonous stuff. So getting into just really like thinking to yourself that you are worthy to go take on those big projects. Like, I know, like right when I first got into them, like, am I really qualified? I know we know how to do driveways, but like, am I worthy of this parking lot? Yes, you are. You're worthy of any size one that you have the equipment or the network for. And that has really changed our trajectory in a major way, Judd. And I really want to just thank you publicly for that, because it's really changed the game for my family too. So I really appreciate it, buddy.
That means a lot, man. That means a lot. You know what? And you've changed. I mean, everyone here have changed our game and impacted our family. I appreciate you too, bro. And it's always so good to connect with you, man. Your energy is incredible. And, I know that you've impacted so many people as well through teaching and really, really helping kids to grow up to be great people, man. And so congrats, bro.
Awesome, brother. I appreciate it.
Cool. Wow, that's awesome. Cool stuff. Let's keep rocking around here. Is there any questions? I know we're coming up here on 15 minutes left here. What questions do we have? Anyone have? I know that you can raise your hand there. Don't be afraid. But right before we dig into the questions, I was speaking with Robert Wallace earlier, who has joined the Asphalt Kingdom team. He's one of our lighthouses in AK. So a big warm welcome, Robert, to the AK team. An incredible human, core values, and just a really great guy that's going to be working hard to support you guys as well and make sure that we're providing solutions to any questions that you may have. But Robert, come off mute, man, and just share that acronym that you shared with me earlier, because I think it's a really great one. I shared CARE, which is create a remarkable experience, but there's this other acronym that Robert shared with me that really resonated, and I was just like, wow, we got to share this tonight.
Got it. Yeah, I was thinking, because in sales, you always want to find out what people's goals are for their business, what their intent is, and what their vision is. And it was the acronym GIV. And so what I started thinking about, I was really thinking hard about this. And when you know what your goals and your intent and your vision is, that will equate to what kind of effort you're going to put into your business or put into someone else. And the acronym GIVE to me, it really hit my heart when I started thinking about it, because that's exactly what we do. Even when you're interacting personally with people, what is your goal, your intent, and your vision for how things turn out? And what are you going to give to that to make that happen? And I just stuck with it. And I use that when I'm talking to people, excuse me, in sales, because we have to know where they're headed. And if they don't know where they're headed, that's, being a lighthouse, I think is brilliant on your part, Judd, because if they don't know where they're headed and they don't have a light to go to, they're going to wander around like a ship without a rudder.
That's awesome. How awesome is that, right? That acronym GIVE. Cool. Write that down and let's use that. I love that, Robert. Thank you for sharing. Really appreciate it. Cool. Let's go in. John, what's happening? Palladium Pavement in the house. What is up, man?
How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Good. Got my company branded gear.
Nice.
Hat,
Nice.
shirt, jacket.
Look at you go.
Going to meet with my first paving contractor tomorrow morning. 2 large sites that have some significant potholes.
Nice.
One of them, once they're done, will stripe it. The other one does the striping on their own. Went to a local builders expo today with John from Imperial. We met up with the local Sherwin-Williams rep. He had some great info. Let us know about local, one of the local Sherwin-Williams does regular demos on Graco painters. So we'll get to see one of those hopefully soon. And yeah.
Crushing it, keeping that momentum, pushing, getting ready for a big bang to the season, man. Congratulations on investment time, and stop, don't hold back. Pressure on.
Keep pushing forward.
Keep pushing forward. I love that. Beautiful. Cool. Any other questions? Anyone want to share anything? We've got 10 minutes. I know that everybody is rocking and rolling, getting ready to go. Here we go. Victor, what's happening, brother?
Things are getting real. I've been talking to my TS. I've gotten 3 calls since last week. I've quoted 2 churches. Those letters I've been sending out have been paying off. It got warm for 1 day and calls started calling in. I also have the diocese themselves. I send Matthias some material so he can help me out with that. And over 100,000. Matthias is saying that one should be about $80,000. The other one I quoted for 40,000 and one for 27,000. So I'm just gonna wait, give it a week after the break that we're coming up, and then follow up on those.
Let's go.
So yeah, the heart started to pound. It's like, oh crap, this is real. Oh my God, I'm seeing the ultrasound. There's a real baby there. So
what do you have in the quote stages right now? Would you say like total amount dollar wise that you've got in the quote stage in your deal pipeline?
49,000, 37 and 20. I can look it up. Oh, someone else. Sorry. It's about.
Where are you keeping your deal pipeline right now? Where are you keeping your deal pipeline organized?
I have everything on OneDrive. Everything organized by. I know you're gonna tell me AK dash. But I have everything organized in my folders in my OneDrive, where I can just move things as where they need to be. Awaiting answers. Working on and signed contract. I only have 1 signed contract so far, which is a little guy, but that's a good one. Yes, go ahead.
So you're putting this in OneDrive, but or Google Drive. Is it OneDrive you're putting it in?
It's OneDrive. It's Microsoft.
Yeah.
Everything, all my the way I've set up even before you mentioned AK, I've set up my PDS where I can put the everything like you would in Excel, and it calculates everything for you, including the material, and I can reference right from there the material costs. I can go to the sites. I also, because I have different sources now besides Asphalt Kingdom, I found a material that I shared with Matthias. He might want to share it with you. He didn't say what he think of it because we didn't have a lot of time to talk about it. So I'm finding stuff out there that I may be able to acquire locally that you guys don't provide. So that I have everything in that PDF, everything set up all in one file. So I do is I copy the file over to the folder that I create for that client, and I keep all of my photographs, everything in there, and I work from that folder just for that client.
So, Victor, a quick question for you. Why do we not have you on AK Dash?
Because I'm a hard-headed beast, and you've been pounding me, and I'm going to look at it because Matthias sending me a link, and you need to say no more. It's going to happen tomorrow.
It's $50 a month, man.
Yeah, I know. I spend more on a hot dog. Yeah.
But you just need to put everything in a system so that you have a task environment and you pipeline and you have proper proposals. You keep the optics that you need. Like, you really just need to do. It's going to be easier for you. It's going to make your life easier, brother.
Okay.
It's not about the $50 a month. It's about betterment of keeping your business organized at an early stage. You have to plant the seed.
I've already spent $600. I'm interrupting you, but I'm sorry. I understand. I'm already spent $600 on postage. That shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. You definitely want to do, you want to do the right thing for your business, right?
Victor, how much on postage?
$600.
600 hours. I thought you said 600,000.
Dollars.
I was like, yo, you just mailed to the whole world, brother.
No, and I still have
what?
I still have over 2,000 I still have over 2,000 churches to go through to identify the I got a system where I go and identify the parking lot, and I eliminate them from my list. I go on yellowpages.com. I download all their stuff. I throw it in a text file, put it on ChatGPT. It extract all the information for me, and I create these spreadsheets. That takes me about half an hour per category. So that's how I get all my listing. And then I go through each address to make sure that each address has a parking lot that's legit.
How much do you make an hour at work?
About 25 an hour.
So 600 hours at 25 an hour?
No. $600 in postage.
How many hours does that take you? Who's doing all the outbound?
Oh, I said, you mean sending the stuff out?
Sending it out, getting it together, creating the letters, creating a campaign.
That's all me.
But what I'm getting at is I think there's a solution for cheaper, right? And even if you look at it without actually creating real revenue from your business, and we can look at it as your hourly revenue that you're making inside your job right now, like what does that look like if you take all those hours that you've I don't want to say wasted because it is turning out results, but like you're using up currently for low level paying task, and you find someone that's gonna take care of that for you between $5 to $9 an hour, and that's just going to create opportunity for you, and you're going to go out and close deals once the opportunities are created and make real money, right? Like these are the things when we're talking about systems and operating from a CRM that we're talking about, right? Not doing like these low level tasks that don't make sense. Like we want to go out and get rich, right? Like we're ready to invest money and time into equipment to get rich and create a marketable experience with a customer, right? Like, so, and it's not just a pitch on a dash or a pitch on this. It's a pitch on like actually building the business right from the beginning. Like, and the reason I'm saying this, I operated like that for a really, really, really long time. I did hundreds of jobs out of PDF, and it was chaos at all time. Chaos. Like, and it becomes so hard. Like this whole, give me a second, I should look, like you should have this at fingertips. What's the deal pipeline? What's this? What's the lead conversion rate? What's your book rate? What's your average ticket value? You know, like these type of things should be like this, not, oh, let me cycle through 100 spreadsheets and, oh, I've sent these letters out. And then, okay, now where's the follow-up? Where's the automation on the back end of the initial touch point? You know, like those type of things. And it's like, and it'll convert so much higher too. I'll tell you that. Like your conversion rate might go up by 10, 20, 30% if you really focus on the system, because the system is going to bring so much more value. To me, I would pay probably a profuse amount of money for a 10% increase on conversion rate right now, and I wouldn't worry about outbound. I would stop spending marketing dollars if I could increase my conversion rate by 10%. Like those things are so important, brother. Like I'm telling you, do it right from the beginning. Like, but you're doing it right. Like you're on the right path, 70% of it. But it's just like that 30% tweak that we can just implement a few things that it's going to be like, oh, this makes sense now.
Well, I have the biggest proposal. I don't get to see it till we come back from vacation the following week. He wants to be on site when I'm there, so that'll be important. By that time, I have AK dash set up. I already sent out 2. I just need to follow up on it. I also am in cahoots with a local asphalt company who's going to do the driveway for the one job that's $49,000. It's a church. So and then there's another church for 27,000 out in Ontario here in New York. So those 2 are already out. But the other one, it's a big one. That one's really important. That's the one that requires me to have a $2 million policy. And it's 174,000 square feet.
That's a great thing that you brought up, and I'm going to jump right on that. I'm going to detour for like 2 seconds. We talk about some of the things that are going on right now in the economy and stuff. My policy currently, I have to hold a $5 million policy to work at commercial facilities, and it's been a really common thing amongst lots of large commercial facilities. But you know, it's just one thing that has shifted as we see some of this progression going on with liability risks and that type of thing. And it was just a $270 a month increase just because I got an email one day, right? So as we're looking at these things, you know, get ready.
I'm sorry, but Skylar, what kind of service do you provide that needs $5 million policy?
Never, I mean, never ever have we, I think, would you ever need it, but we're in-house. We seal coat, crack fill, line paint, we sub out paving, nothing that I have pumped out I'm on site with a $5 million liability in a single phase.
Spraying an entire $100,000 car will be just $100,000. So
yeah, I mean, but the thing is, you gotta look at like the injury liabilities and things like that. Those are where things get really salty, and then it's also just one more, I would say, loop in the belt, right, for the way things are shifting for them to tighten up. It's gonna really, really start shifting about the people that aren't serious and ready to play the game, right? Like, are you ready to drop an additional $300 a month on insurance? I just got exterior audited by 3 separate companies to perform work at some of these facilities. But at the end of the day, like, we're writing a 7 million square foot proposal right now. Like, these are the things that are, you know, really shifting that are going on. But like, I got an insurance audit. I got a workman's comp audit. I got a third-party OSHA audit. I now have to self-write my own safety trainings and OSHA requirements inside of my facility. I can no longer just give generic material. I have to write bloodborne pathogen. I have to write heights. I have to write chemicals. I have to write all of these actual in-house safety training that is proprietary to ProSeal to be able to show up. And then on top of it, you know, do I have to carry the $5 million policy? I also have to pay an additional $2,300 a year to the third-party person that audits me to even work at the facility. Like, when we're talking about this economy shift, right? Like these are the things that people are really, the large corporations are really starting to tighten up on, because they're going to wean out who's serious or not.
I've just talked to sorry.
If you have a world-class company built, it's not really that big of a deal. It was just a quick little shift. The admin team said, okay, give us 1 week. We're going to create everything. Boom. You know what I mean? Like that's all it is. And like, who's ready to dedicate the time? Who's ready to dedicate the resources to do this thing as the shift happens? And who's ready to, handle projects like this at scale? But it's why it's so important, because if you're chasing down documents, then you got to write 10 OSHA audits with internal training materials. I don't got time for that.
I've just talked to someone who I know about I believe it's called a homeowners organization, where they got the groups of homeowners.
Yeah.
And he goes, that'll be great. You're doing that, yeah, but we got to do a background check. I go, okay, sure, and you got to pay for it. I go, okay. So they make you pay to.
Yep. To show up at the facility. To be around. And even KPIs, right? I was pulling this out as Judd was discussing. This is laborer KPIs, down to the guy that pushes the broom all day that probably doesn't have much real responsibility. But like right here, I've broken them down into the 5 real responsibilities they need to track every single day. It's not just a core team. It's not just an admin team. I have KPIs all the way down to whatever you want to say. I don't want to say the lowest man on the pole, but yeah, like the guy that is the brand new that might know nothing. There are KPIs for what he has to do and be responsible for to hit the goals.
And by the way, you can figure it all out on your own too. It just takes a long time.
Yeah.
That's all.
And lots of chaos.
Lots of chaos. Yep.
No fun.
Like
you don't want to be there.
Yeah. You want to have an organized. I mean, that's what we were speaking about earlier: processes, systems, and people. Right. It depends how you're looking to grow your company. Right. Really, at the end of the day, how do you want to grow it? You want to grow it long and steady and take the big, long, scenic route, or do you want to just take the express way and get there by having the right systems and processes taught to you and provided to you, and then you just get into the captain's seat in your role, right? Not to say that culture and all that stuff just happens magically. It takes an enormous amount of work and ongoing work, but that I can tell you, your people are going to be a lot more happy operating from a process and system that's been set up. And by the way, just to share my screen here, this is what it looks like right now for you, Victor, with the way that you're doing proposals. That's the way the systems and processes look when you're early on in the stage. It's like, just please help me. Goodness gracious, get me out of here. I just need to figure out something that's better, right? I need to figure out something that's better. And just to be clear, I'm not, of course, I want you to be on AK Dash, but at the end of the day, it's really about, you could use, there's all kinds of different platforms that are out there. Find one that's really good for you, that will really allow you to power forward. We'd love to earn your business and have you on the system. But at the end of the day, do me a favor. Do not be in the Rhino. It sucks inside there, dude. It's not good.
It's, you know what? You're kidding, but you're right. It's felt like that. Okay, are my numbers right? Am I doing this right? These are the thoughts that are going through my mind.
Bro, I've been, like, transparently, I've been in tears because of those thoughts. Like, when I'm telling you from the real stress, like, I've thought about those things and been in tears because it was just so overwhelming when you're flying blind. And I have multiple families that their families depend to be fed on me, and I didn't know what was going on. Like, that shit sucks.
Well, the difference is right now I'm still working a job, and that gives me that little cushion of lacking those tears. But the $49,000 job, the client gave me 3 days. I said, we're meeting on Sunday. That was last Sunday. I want to have something in front of them. I go, okay, I'll do what I could do. The weather was nice, so I went I went and saw the first site on Saturday, then I went and saw the second site, and then got back and trying to keep things straight. Okay, which one was what? Okay, okay, fine. I got my notes correct, and I was able to crank it out. But I go back to those studs. Did I do it right? Did I quote it right? They got a lot of damage in their parking lot, so they're the same size lots. And why is this lot double this? Well, okay, because I got a bunch load of potholes and a driveway that needs to be replaced.
I got a question before you go.
Let's do it.
I'll be quiet now.
Let's do it, brother.
Cool.
on,
Yeah,
Michael.
hey, I hate to butt you off. I just couldn't get a word in edgewise with all that excitement. But I've been looking at these back systems. You're pushing the AK dash. I looked at it once. I saw some stuff in there. I was not finding some stuff in there I was wanting. Do you have videos that demonstrate everything that it does?
Yeah, man. Inside AK Dash, you can do the free trial on the left side. There's the help thing. There's the help window, and you can literally, we've got a whole slew of videos teaching you all the inside of it. And when you're first onboarding, there's also a video of me that introduces you to the platform. And we also have Kirk that will do demos with you, where it will be a live one-on-one demo as well.
Okay, I might need to schedule with Kirk and just get a few questions cleared up. Okay, thank you.
No problem at all. Our team is already on it, so they will be on it to connect the dots right there. Matthias, you're on it already? Cool. You're all set, brother. And there's a link, by the way, if you look in the chat window for anybody that wants to set up demos, you can just click that link. So we're set. Cool stuff, cool stuff. Did I see Chris Filippelli? Your hand was up, bro. How's it going, man?
Good, man. How are you doing?
Good. Where are you? Can I see you?
Oh, yeah. Hold on. You can. Hold on. Kind of dark. I'm walking around outside, but.
Oh, I
What
see.
up,
I
brother?
see. Got it. Cool, man.
Yeah.
How you doing, bro?
Good, man. How are you doing?
Making dreams come true. I'm in Panama. I'm in Central America with the family right now.
Yeah, I know you're on the world tour.
On the world tour. Yeah, on the world tour. It's interesting working from a hotel desk on the 37th floor from 4:30 a.m. till I guess it's 8:11 p.m. right now. It's been a busy day, but how have you been? Probably same thing, man, up at 4:30 and still going, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all good though. Some
Good
things
stuff.
during the day for me personally, for the family, stuff like that. But I won't hold you up. I kind of was just staying quiet, just listening. But one of the things that he said that had stuck out to me when he's talking about having the cushion, from wherever he's working now. One thing I was going to make a comment to that was that is nice, but the quicker you get away from it, the better off you'll be. And I say that in the sense of the more uncomfortable you are, the harder it is for you to make sure that you can pay your bills at the end of the week, the quicker you will find success, right? So if you stay working that job because it's comfortable, your company will never scale at the pace that it'll scale at if you walk away and say, I don't have enough money to pay my bills on Friday, but I'm going to figure out how I can make it happen. You'll scale 3 times as quick than saying, I'm comfortable where I am. So I don't have, basically what you're telling yourself is inside is, I don't feel like doing anything today. I don't need to try as hard. I'm okay. I have enough money. And so you say you're not going to do it, but it's just so easy to get trapped in that mindset. So just think about it.
I agree with you 100%. What I'm doing is in this occasion is taking advantage of the situation. My goal is to. I've been at this job for 30 years. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm not happy. So I want to clarify that with you. I am a disgruntled employee at this point, and my happiness. I cannot do what I want to do for my family being where I'm at. So yeah, you're absolutely right. I use the cushion, okay, that gives me an advantage till I can get going. And I have the approval of my family, which is very important. And I mean my wife and my children. As soon as I surpass what I'm making at work, and I know that will help, I'm done. That's a Dominican expression, by the way. I'm done.
So I'll call you out on screen in front of the whole AK roundtable right now. So let's commit to AK Dash and get you on it. After this meeting, commit with Matthias that you're going to put your credit card down for $49 a month to have a commitment to have the proper proposal engine in your hands so that you can actually power forward with that rather than dancing around the sidelines.
Okay.
Cool. Matthias, call him right after this. Get his credit card. Get him locked into AK Dash. Get a demo set up with Kirk, and let's do this thing properly rather than dancing on the sideline, bro. Victor, I am going to tell you, I want nothing other than you to crush it. Excuse God. I'm begging you for mercy. Skylar,
The
right
only reason you can't say that is because everybody else is going to be on the web. But right here, you can say it.
Yo, but
go.
like Matthias, we were chatting earlier too. Braden, I messed up he has a $60,000 pipeline after a couple coaching sessions. He turnkey his first job, 25K in Chick-fil-A's, 12 locations, just sent out another proposal for.
What happened to you? Skylar, we lost you. Skylar.
Yo, can you hear me now?
Yeah, so Chick-fil-A's
I got muted by host. Someone didn't want to hear it.
Might have been me accidentally. Keep going.
Chick-fil-A.
What's up with Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A's. So couple coaching sessions, AK Dash. I got him onboarded AK Dash. We started sending out legit proposals, right? 10 to 12 Chick-fil-A's. 25K in total work. Just sent out his first seal coat, crack fill, line stripe. Doesn't own a piece of equipment.
Zero.
Yeah, zero with super high profit margin with help factored into it. Like ridiculous. $60,000 deal pipeline in like 3 to 4 weeks. And he's performing. And prospectively, the reason he's performing, he quit his job and called me at 10 o'clock at night. And he says, hey, brother, how are you? I said, what's up, man? He's like, I quit my job. I'm like, okay. He's like, I just wanted to call you and tell you I'm ready to do this thing. And I'm like, so let's do it, brother. And here we are. Like, he's making it happen. Fresh layout on the first one, too. They threw it out on fresh layout. Killing it. But yeah, I've seen that. I sent that to you earlier, Matthias, and I was like, dude, I definitely messed that up. It's more. So, but that's the thing. Chris, also, thank you for that advice. You always come on. You're typically in the dark, and you come on and drop some nuggets. So keep killing it, bro. It's awesome to see you killing it as well. But yeah, telling you guys.
Call him the shadow talker. He talks from the shadow. That's where he gets his advice from.
Let me tell you, I've known Chris for a long time now, and he is a beast. He's built an absolutely incredible company. And we've got some interviews on our YouTube channel, Chris and I, and we've had some great fun together, including riding around Pittsburgh on electric scooters, which was really great. But we've had some really incredible conversations, and watch that guy just completely turn his company into something really impressive.
What's his website name?
Surface Solutions.
Judd, just make it easier. Just do fixmydrive.com.
Fixmydrive.com. Yeah. Any questions do you have any questions for Chris Filippelli or anyone on here? We're going to bump off here. We're at like literally an hour and 17 minutes into this roundtable. So it's one of those where this could go on for days. No? All right, cool. Okay, well, let's go into the one-word close, everyone. I'm going to remove Spotlight. Victor, congratulations on being a new subscriber to AK Dash. We are so excited to have you. Woohoo! Yes, we got you, buddy. We got you. Visa, MasterCard,
someone told me
Amex.
those guys are out to get you same way.
Yeah, that's us, right?
Yeah.
So cool. And by the way, Carlos, good to see you on, brother. Good to see you on, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So good.
Here we go.
A quick note on.
Go ahead,
Sorry,
Victor.
A quick note, Judd. I had all that stuff that I needed. Yeah. It's just I had no idea how to put it in order. Thank you.
Let's just.
So that's what these last 4 months have done. It's helped me put everything in order so I can go in a straight line.
Yeah, but there comes a point in time where that the stuff's in the point where we literally are saying, hey, team, like this is a team effort, like let's. I want you here, Victor. I want you on the round table for years, brother. I want you sharing the success stories that other people share. I want you to be another success story. And so in order to do that, there's some things that we need to do to push each other to be better, right? You guys have advice for me on how I can be better. Please drop me an email, hop on a call with me, say, hey, Judd, listen, there's some things that I think you can improve on over here. We're all works in progress, right? Like every single person here, we're not all perfect. We're all working. So Victor, congrats. Everyone, congratulations on being here and committed. Let's go ahead and do a one-word close. Everyone, we're going to start with Matthias. Come off mute and give us your one-word close for tonight's AK Roundtable.
KPI.
I knew that. I was going to say it for him.
Excel.
Victor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What do I say?
AK dash is what you're supposed to say. Matt, one word close.
Success.
Stephanie.
Organize.
D'Amica.
Give.
Let's go. I love that give acronym. See, Robert, you're already blasting that light in, brother. Billy, one word close.
Rhino.
I like that. Cool. Olivier, one word close.
Branding.
I knew you were going to say that. Smart move. Well done. Skylar.
Community.
John.
Consistency.
Michael Wayne.
Meetups.
Yes, sir. Carlos.
Encourage.
Mark.
Morale.
I love that. Cool. And for those of you that are not on video, I will not be, it's hard to go around. Chris, one word close. Chris Filippelli.
I'll give you culture, and culture.
Love that. Cool. All right. Let's boogie. And by the way, for those of you that aren't on video, it's hard to go around the screen to find everyone. It gets lost. So if you want to do one word close, please feel free to come on video and do it. But I'm good, and you're gonna have to do it in like 3, 2, 1. All right. My one word close is going to be consistency is the key word, one word close. All right, team. Well, that was great. Everybody raise your hand if you got some golden nuggets from tonight.
100%.
You got some notes written down. Beautiful. Good stuff. All right, let's take this supercharge. Let's take it into our day tomorrow. And let's finish up our week strong and then ram into next week with all kinds of great goals and opportunities that we get to unfold for our future. Looking forward to seeing everybody next week. Same time, same place, right here on the AK Roundtable, guys.
Appreciate you all. Thank you.